Hey everyone, ready to totally nail that grants administrator interview.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do a deep dive into RoleCatcher's guides
Oh,
today.
awesome.
But not just like a surface skim.
No way.
Think of this as your personal workshop,
Yeah.
We break down common interview questions
Hmm.
and give you the strategies to really impress.
Love it. So,
Yeah,
putting you in the hot seat a little bit. Just
exactly. It's practice, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So first things first, imagine you're the interviewer
Okay.
and they say,
Let's say.
describe your experience with grant proposal writing.
Oh, that's a classic.
It's a classic, right?
You always get that one.
It might seem straightforward,
Yeah.
but what are they really trying to assess?
I think with that one, they're really trying to see if
Yeah.
you understand the big picture,
Oh, okay.
Like not just filling in blanks on a form.
So it's like,
Yeah, they want to know, have you actually done the research on the funders? Can you pinpoint, what their priorities are?
oh, yeah,
Not
true.
just, hey, tailor your proposal so it actually resonates with them.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah, and can you write clearly and persuasively?
Because that's key.
All that is kind of packed into that one little question.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And that's where I think
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's AI is so helpful,
Or
right?
for sure.
Because it can actually
Yeah.
scan the job description
Yeah.
and pull out keywords that are related to grant writing.
Mm-hmm.
So like things like
Like,
needs assessment or impact
evaluation.
ration.
Yeah.
And you can use that to
Exactly.
weave into your answer.
It's like having a little cheat sheet
It
to
is.
decode the job description.
Totally. It's like having that secret decoder ring.
Yeah.
Right.
Love it.
And RoleCatcher doesn't just stop at keywords.
No, it goes even deeper, right?
It does.
So, let's say you haven't written a full proposal before, which, that's pretty common, especially if you're kind of new to the field.
Mm-hmm.
You can still talk about your research skills.
Okay.
Maybe you did a school project,
Yeah.
or even, planned a fundraising event.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher can help you frame those experiences
Okay.
in a way that connects to grant writing.
Oh, that's so smart. So it's like you're taking things that you already have done
Mm-hmm.
and connecting them in a way that
Exactly. Yeah.
it shows you've got the skills.
It's so helpful, especially when you're just starting out, right?
For sure.
It's all about those transferable skills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, speaking of which,
Okay.
another really common question.
All right.
How do you ensure compliance with grant requirements?
Ooh, good one.
This one's all about organization
Organization.
and attention to detail.
Big time, yeah.
So, what's the strategy here?
Well, I think the main thing is
Yeah.
you're the guardian of the grant money.
Okay.
That's a good way to think about it.
Right. You're making sure that it's being used properly
Yeah.
and according to all those rules
Yeah.
and regulations.
They want to know that you take that
Yeah,
seriously.
that you're responsible.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to mess around with this money.
Exactly. So how do you actually structure your answer to hit the mark?
You don't want to just be
Yeah.
listing off every single detail of your organizational system.
Don't be boring.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that.
Right. Yeah.
So what you want to do is mention the key steps you take.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
meticulous record keeping,
Okay.
clear communication with the recipients,
Got it.
using checklists or software to track deadlines.
Oh, those are good.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But instead of just listing them off,
Yeah.
illustrate with an example.
Oh, okay. Good idea.
You could say, in my previous role,
Uh-huh.
I managed multiple grant projects.
Yeah. Simultaneously,
Okay.
to stay organized,
Mm-hmm.
I actually created a color-coded spreadsheet system
Right.
that tracked all the deadlines,
Okay.
the deliverables, and the communication logs.
Mm.
This helped me make sure that every single project stayed on track
Wow.
and was compliant.
That's a much stronger answer, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not just saying,
It's not just talking the talk, it's
Yeah.
walking the walk.
it's proving it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You're giving them a real world
A real example.
example.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that you added this little tip too about
Oh, yeah.
briefly mentioning
Mm-hmm.
potential challenges that grants administrators face.
Right. Things like evolving regulations or the risk of fraud,
So that's good.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because it shows that you're
Shows that you're aware.
aware of the big picture.
Yeah. That you're thinking ahead.
Okay, that's so smart.
All right, so how about this one?
Okay.
Can you describe your experience with grant management software?
Oh, good one.
Yeah, technology is huge in this field now.
It's a game changer.
Right, for sure.
And I think interviewers want to know that you're comfortable with all those digital tools.
Navigating the digital world.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't panic. If you've never used specialized grant software before.
You don't have to be a tech whiz.
Right. Like, even if your experience is primarily with spreadsheets and basic databases, highlight those skills.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you can say something like, while my main experience is with Excel, I'm a quick learner.
Okay.
And I'm eager to master new software.
Yeah.
I've already, been exploring different grant management platforms, and I'm really impressed by their features.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, show them you're proactive.
That's so good.
You're adaptable.
Because it's not just about,
you're willing to learn.
Checking that box, right?
Right.
It's about showing that you're
in it to win it.
Committed to growth.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And this ties into career growth, too.
Oh, totally.
The career guide talks about the importance of continuous learning.
It's huge.
Staying updated on new software technologies that can actually make you a more competitive candidate. Right.
Yeah.
And it can open doors.
Absolutely.
For advancement.
Yeah. It makes you stand out.
Okay. Now let's shift gears a little bit to a question that can be trickier. Especially for those who are newer to the field. Can you describe your experience with managing subwords?
Subwords? Okay.
Yeah, it sounds intimidating, right?
A little bit, yeah.
But it really just boils down to...
Well, it's basically you're overseeing a portion of the grant that's being managed by another organization.
Oh, okay.
So it requires really strong communication, delegation, and monitoring skills.
So for someone who's never directly managed subwords, how do they approach this question?
That's a good question.
Should they just be honest?
We'll say honesty's important.
Yeah.
But you can also frame it in a way that highlights those transferable skills.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, you could say something like, while I haven't directly managed subwords, I have experience coordinating projects with multiple stakeholders.
Yeah.
In my previous role, I led a team project where I had to delegate tasks, set deadlines, and monitor progress to make sure we hit our goals.
So smart. Because you're connecting the dots for them.
Exactly, yeah.
You're showing them you have the skills.
You've got the skills.
Even if you haven't.
Even if you haven't
done it in that specific...
In that specific
context.
Yeah.
And... Again, RoleCatcher.
RoleCatcher's great for this.
Can be such a valuable resource.
Yeah, it's got sample answers and AI feedback specifically for subword management.
It's like having a coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. In your pocket.
A little coach right there on your phone.
Totally.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets even more interesting.
Oh, tell me more.
RoleCatcher's AI
All right.
can analyze the specific job description and identify keywords related to subwords.
Oh, smart.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the description emphasizes monitoring and evaluation or risk management, you'll know to use those.
Okay, so you can tailor your answer.
In your answer.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's all about tailoring your response.
Exactly.
To what they're looking for.
It's like having that secret weapon,
It is.
that decodes their expectations.
Okay, we've covered a lot.
We have.
This deep
dive. A
dive.
lot of ground.
But we've only scratched the surface
of
those scenario-based questions.
Lots more to come.
Let's take a quick breather.
Okay.
And we'll come back.
Sounds good.
And we'll dive into even more challenging questions.
All right, can't wait. All right, so... You know those scenario-based questions that often pop up in grants administrator interviews?
Oh, yeah.
Those can be tough.
They can be.
Especially because they want you to, think on your feet and apply your skills.
Right. It's not just about knowing the theory.
Exactly.
You got to show them you can...
You got to do it.
Do the real-world stuff.
So let's say they ask you to describe your experience with managing grant budgets.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Yeah. We touched on this briefly before.
We did.
But let's do a deeper dive.
Let's dive in.
Because grant budgeting, it's a core responsibility.
So they want to see that you
want to make sure you've got it.
You got it.
Like you really understand the principles.
Principles, yeah.
Even if you haven't managed a super complex budget before.
Right. Okay. So for someone with, limited experience, what's the key?
What's the secret sauce?
The strong answer.
I think it's all about highlighting those transferable skills.
Oh, okay.
So think about any time you've managed finances, even if it was on a smaller scale.
Okay.
Maybe you created a budget for like a club at school or a school project.
Yeah.
Or even your own personal finances.
Oh, right, yeah.
Just focus on the process that you used.
Oh, okay.
So, how did you plan? How did you allocate the funds?
Okay.
How did you track expenses? Did you stay within limits?
Stay within the limits, yeah.
It's all about showing them.
Yeah, that you understand the...
You understand the fundamentals.
Fundamentals.
Even if the scale was smaller?
Even if the scale was different.
Okay, yeah.
And RoleCatcher's really good at this, too.
Oh, yeah, RoleCatcher can help you out here big time.
Because it's AI.
It can analyze the job description and pull out those keywords that are related to budgeting.
Oh, okay, so it's like forecasting.
Right, like forecasting.
Variance analysis.
Asset control.
Yeah, all those good ones.
And you can use those to tailor your answer.
Absolutely. So,
So if financial forecasting is like a key thing that they're looking for, you can talk about how you projected expenses for that club event or that school project.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't, a formal grant budget.
Right. But the principles are the same.
Exactly.
So smart.
All right. So let's move on to a related question that kind of goes a step further.
Go.
Can you describe your experience with developing grant budgets?
Oh, so this is different, right?
This is a little bit different.
Okay.
So developing a budget, it's like the next level up from just,
managing one.
Right. It requires you to really understand the program's goals and objectives and then translate that into like a realistic and detailed budget plan.
Okay.
So it's about making those strategic decisions about how to allocate those funds to get the impact that you want.
To achieve the goal,
Yeah, so...
What if you haven't?
What if you haven't had the chance to build a grant budget?
From scratch.
From scratch.
Should you just be honest and say, I haven't done that?
You can be honest. Yeah.
You always want to demonstrate your understanding of the process.
Oh, good point. Okay.
So maybe you've researched different funding opportunities. Or you've analyzed their budget requirements. Or maybe you've contributed to budget discussions in a previous role.
Right.
Even if you weren't
you weren't the one in
charge.
In charge, right?
Just highlight those experiences to show.
Okay.
You get it.
You understand.
You understand how it works and all the things that go into those decisions.
Right. That's such a good point. So you're not just
a number cruncher.
A number cruncher.
Right.
But you understand.
You get the strategy behind it.
Yeah, the bigger picture.
Exactly.
And this is where...
RoleCatcher is great for this, too.
I was going to say, RoleCatcher can really help here.
It's got those sample answers and that AI feedback that can help you.
It can guide you.
Yeah, guide you.
And help you frame those experiences.
So smart.
Yeah.
And don't forget, too.
Oh, yeah.
Research is so important.
Research. Always.
Yeah. Before your interview?
Yeah. Before you go in.
Yeah.
Take some time to research the organization.
Okay.
Look at their grants program.
See what kind of stuff they're doing.
See what they're funding.
Oh, that's such a good point, too, because it shows you've done your homework.
It shows that you care.
Right.
Yeah.
That you're genuinely interested.
Exactly.
Okay, let's keep this momentum going.
All right. I'm ready.
How about this one? Can you describe your experience with managing grant timelines?
Timelines, yes.
Project management.
Project management central? Yeah.
Right.
You got to be able to juggle all those deadlines.
Right, all the deliverables.
The deliverables, yeah.
The reporting requirements.
And the interviewers, they want to see you've got it. You know?
You can keep everything.
You keep it on track.
Yeah. So even if you've never managed a big, complex grant timeline, you can still
draw on your project management experience.
Oh.
Think about any time you've had to juggle multiple tasks.
Okay, yeah.
Set priorities. Meet those deadlines.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you led a team project at school.
Yeah.
or organize like a community event, even managed.
Right, or like a
big personal project.
Yeah.
Focus on what you did to stay organized, track your progress, and make sure that everything was done on time.
Right, so it's about showcasing
those skills.
and connecting it to grant management.
Yeah. Okay, and this is where
RoleCatcher comes in again.
RoleCatcher can help.
Big time, yeah.
Right, because the AI can analyze.
That AI is so handy.
The job description?
Yeah, it's like your little assistant.
It can pinpoint those keywords that are related to timeline management.
So things like
deadline-driven,
results-oriented, strategic planning.
All those good things.
And, to use those.
And weave them in there.
Right, so smart.
Okay, how about this one?
Okay.
Can you describe your experience with managing grant reporting?
Oh, this one's a big one.
Yeah, this is all about communication.
Yeah, and like
attention to detail.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because you've
got to be able to communicate all the progress and the outcomes to those funders.
They want to know.
Yeah, they want to know.
Like you can gather the data, put it together.
Make it nice and clear.
In a report.
In a clear report, yeah.
And meet deadlines.
Deadlines are key.
So even if you've never written
like a formal
grant report,
you can still highlight
you can talk about
relevant experiences.
Right.
Yeah. So think about any time you've had to compile information, create a presentation, or communicate complex data to someone.
Yeah, or like even
maybe you wrote a big research paper in college.
Okay. Yeah.
Or you presented a project to your team at work, or even created a really detailed budget for your household.
That's a good point.
All of those involve gathering,
organizing,
and presenting information clearly. So you can reframe those experiences to show
them that you have them.
You've got the skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then RoleCatcher can step in.
Of course.
And provide that extra support.
Right, because the AI can analyze and find those keywords related to reporting.
Oh, so things like
data analysis, communication skills, attention to detail.
And then, to use
those in to your answer.
So smart.
It's all about speaking their language.
Totally.
And showing them that
you get it.
Yeah, you're a perfect fit.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
In this deep dive.
It's a lot of ground.
We've analyzed the role, broken down.
Those tricky questions.
Those tricky interview questions, giving you all the tools. The tools to craft those.
Standout
answers.
Oh.
What are your final thoughts for our listeners?
Oh, that's a good question.
Before we wrap up.
We've talked about showcasing your skills and your experience, but there's one more thing that I think can really make you stand out in an interview.
Oh. What's that?
Passion.
Oh, yeah.
You got to show them you're passionate about this work.
Okay, that makes sense because we talked about those top skills in the career guide.
Right. Persuasion.
Yeah.
Speaking. Active listening.
They're even more powerful when you're excited about it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. It's like interviewers, they're not just looking for a competent candidate.
Right. Someone who can just do the job.
Yeah. They want somebody who's really invested in the mission. Someone who sees it as more than just a job.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So how do you
show that, though?
Yeah, how do you convey that passion?
Yeah, without sounding like
cheesy.
cheesy or forced. Yeah.
Right.
I think it's all about connecting your own values and your experiences to the work itself.
Oh, that's good.
So think about why you want to be a grants administrator. Like, what impact do you want to make?
What kind of difference do you want to make in the world?
Maybe you volunteered for a nonprofit that, relied on grants. Or maybe you've seen firsthand how a well-managed grant can really make a difference.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
Because then you're taking...
Yeah, those personal connections.
Yeah, and you're like...
Add so much depth.
Yeah.
To your answers.
Instead of just saying...
It's not just I'm organized.
Right.
It's I'm passionate about helping organizations streamline their grant process.
Yes.
So they can focus on what matters. Their mission.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
It's all about letting the interviewer...
Let them see your enthusiasm.
Yeah, see that you're genuinely...
Yeah, genuinely excited about it.
Right.
That authenticity is so important.
It is.
Yeah, and it connects back to continuous learning.
That's a good point.
From the career guide.
Yeah, it's not just about,
Not just about knowing the rules.
the rules and the regulations.
It's about showing that you actually want to keep learning and growing.
Right, you're curious.
Yeah.
So if you can talk about, like,
a recent article you read?
yeah, or like a
webinar you attended?
Or even an online community you're a part of.
That you're engaged in.
It shows that you're invested in the field.
Yeah.
And committed to your own development.
And it shows you're in it.
Yeah.
For the long haul.
For the long haul, yeah.
And speaking of the long haul.
Oh, yeah, the career stages.
Yeah, the career stages section.
That outlines some potential growth paths.
Right.
You can start as an assistant, move up to manager.
Yeah.
Maybe even lead your own team someday.
Oh, wow. So it's a career with...
It's a career with possibilities.
Real possibilities.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
And, if you've done your research on the organization...
Oh, yeah?
You can even ask some thoughtful questions.
That's a good point.
About their career paths.
Yeah, and their development opportunities.
Because it shows
you're thinking long term.
Thinking long term.
And you're interested in building a future with them.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah, it's like, it's not turning the interview into a two-way street.
A conversation.
Yeah, conversation.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground.
We have.
This deep dive.
A lot of information.
We've analyzed the role. We broke down those tricky interview questions.
Yeah.
We talked about how to infuse your answers with passion and purpose.
So
what's the key takeaway?
Oh, that's a good question.
You want our listener to walk away with?
I would say you've got valuable skills and experiences.
Yeah.
You're clearly taking the initiative to prepare.
And you're
passionate about
making a difference.
Making a difference. Yeah.
Let that shine through.
Let it shine. Right.
Don't be afraid to,
Don't hold back.
Let your personality come through.
Yeah. Connect with the interviewer.
Yeah. Show them who you are.
Show them who you are.
And why you're
the perfect fit.
The perfect fit.
Yeah.
You got this.
You got this, for sure.
And remember, RoleCatcher is there.
Oh, yeah. RoleCatcher's your buddy.
To support you.
Yeah. Every step of the way.
From analyzing job descriptions to providing
tailored feedback.
Yeah. Use those tools. Go out there.
Yeah.
And crush that interview.
Crush it.
That's a wrap on our Grants Administrator Interview Prep Deep Dive. We're so glad you joined us. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Good luck, and we can't wait to hear about your success.